Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Norhana Alisha binti Hanafi, and for today I am going to do a video presentation for subject INC271, which is the interpersonal communication. So without wasting our time, let's move on to the next part, which is about me. I am from class M3801105J, and I am also from Diploma in Planting Industry Management. The title for my presentation will be Employer Abuse of Power Towards Employee in the Workplace Issue. Next, I'll be explaining about the table of content. So firstly, I will tell you about the introduction of my title. And next, how does abuse of power happens? Thirdly, form of action that can be considered as an abuse against employee. Next, effects towards the employee. And lastly will be the solution. I will tell you a little bit about the introduction. Abuse of power can have serious consequences for both the employee and the company. In this context, power means that the ability of one person to influence what other person thinks or does. These are the principles of power. So firstly, power generates privilege, and then power can also be shared. Number 1, power generates privilege means that when a person has a power over another person, the person with power is generally assumed to have certain privilege. Those with power also have the privilege of having final word, whether in an argument or a discussion. Secondly, power can be shared. It can be used to achieve objectives and build relationships. In workplace, employer understandings their power dynamics is essential to help employees create healthy and productive workplace. So, how does abuse of power happens? The first point will be need for control. One of the most common reasons that people abuse of power is a need for control. This can manifest in a number of ways, such as a desire to dominate others, a fear of losing control, or a need for validation and approval from others. Those who are driven by a need for control may use their power to manipulate, coerce, or intimidate others in order to maintain their sense of power and control. The next reason is a sense of entitlement. A sense of entitlement can also contribute to abuse of power. Those who feel entitled may believe that they are deserving of special treatment or privileges, and that their needs and desires should be prioritized over those of others. This can lead to behavior that is self-centered or exploitative, as individuals use their power to benefit themselves at the expense of others. Another factor that can contribute to abuse of power is a lack of empathy. Individuals who lack empathy have difficulty to understand or relating the emotion and experience of others. They may disregard the feelings and needs of others and use their power in ways that are harmful or destructive. This lack of empathy may be rooted in trauma or other psychological factors and can lead to behavior that is careless or cruel. Next, I will share with you a form of action that can be considered as an abuse against employee. The first one will be favoritism. The second point is physical or verbal bullying. The last one will be the discrimination. So here we have favoritism. Favoritism in workplace can create a toxic work environment. For example, your employer chooses others over you for important promotions, raises, or responsibilities. This could lead you to feel left out of social events where only the favorites get invited. The next point is physical or verbal bullying. What is bullying in workplace looks like? Let me tell you. Sexual harassment, particularly stuff like unwelcome, touching, and sexually explicit comments that makes you uncomfortable. Playing mind games or other types of psychological harassment, or maybe giving you pointless tasks that has nothing to do with your job scope. So lastly, discrimination. Discrimination in the workplace happens when a person or a group of people is treated unfairly because of specific characteristics. This will include as race discrimination, religious discrimination, disability discrimination, age discrimination, and lastly will be sex and gender discrimination. Next, I'll be sharing with you the effects towards employee. The first point will be increase in mental distress. Employee experiencing power abuse can lead to feeling of helplessness and self-doubt. This impact not only can impede an individual's professional growth, but also significantly decrease their quality of life. And next effect is the sleep disturbance. Sleep disturbance can make it more challenging to maintain focus and attention. Extended work, high workload, and emotional work demands were significant factors for sleep disturbance. Finally, depression and anxiety. Being threatened or exposed to physical violence in the workplace is a serious occupational hazard. Moreover, this can also lead to increase in absenteeism, which are the strategies used to avoid offensive behavior of employer. Other than that, the situation can influence someone to blame themselves even though it was not their fault. And when it comes to problem, it will have its own solution. So the first one is to express your feelings. Tell the employer that you do not welcome the behavior that you find it offensive. And secondly, collect evidence from a problem. Perhaps seek corroboration from others who have experienced similar harassment at the workplace. Thirdly, file a complaint. Accusations of bullying by the employer will be investigated. And last one, begin with appropriate channels within the organization. Most organizations have established channels to deal with such grievances. As you can see on the screen, these are some of the articles that I have found related to my topics on the internet.
Abuse of power is the misuse of discretionary power by a person in a position of authority. Examples of abuse of power are often seen with authoritarian politicians, corrupt police officers, and sexual predators in position of power. Leveraging power inappropriately to induce a person subject to discretionary power to commit an act in which they would not normally engage can demonstrate an abuse of power. In trade practices, abuse of market power is misuse of a dominant position to undertake unlawful activities such as predatory pricing or tying contracts. Abuse of power can take various forms including bullying or harassing behavior, sextortion, requesting staff to do personal errands or favors, and pressuring staff to distort facts or break rules. To put it in real context, The Guardian Post wrote in one of their articles, "The police have been accused of an abuse of power by using anti-terror-style tactics against protesters after two young women claimed they endured terrifying ordeals at the hands of male officers pretending to be postal workers."
Alright, thank you for watching and have a good day!